Hello, and welcome to another episode of Turning Sparkly Cardboard Sideways. My name's Jimmy. Bancroft is behind the camera. And right here will be my personal phone number, 859-279-2405. If you have any questions, concerns, critiques on any deck profile or battles we post, please feel free to send me a message. Or if you just want to say hi or share some of your deck tech, deck list ideas, please send me a message, and I'll try to reply as quickly as possible. Thank you.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack and Protection. Today I have both Jake and Fluff with me today.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey, people.
And today we're actually going over a duel that took place between me and Jimmy. Unfortunately, Jimmy couldn't join us for this one today, but I'm playing Broly BR, and Jimmy was playing the Blue Baby, which is actually his second. It's more or less his seventh version of it, but
Yeah, I was gonna say he's getting close to like the 10-ish versions at this point, if I'm not mistaken.
and we will have a profile of this deck later on in the week. We actually have one from a duel from our locals I want to showcase first, because as we all know, Jimmy likes to just immediately in the first minute tell you who won the duel he's playing against.
Yeah.
So, but in this particular duel, I kind of wanted to showcase the Broly BR deck I made. And Jimmy just wanted to play Baby because it's what Jimmy likes to do.
So truthfully, blue is so fun right now. Like, maybe it's not the best color, but it's a ton of fun to play.
I think it's strong, and I think the reason we're not seeing it at topping big events is because it takes a long time to play, and people are worried about time rules.
Yeah.
Not
for
so
sure.
much as the deck not being good.
That's a good point.
So, using Broly's effect real quick, I'm pulling a 1-drop extra card for my deck, and it's not Planet Vampa because, I play 2 in my deck. I happen to get 1 in my hand, which is pretty nice. So my second choice is always New Model Scouter, which is a great search for the 4, 5, and 6, in case anyone's ever curious.
Tanner and I have been talking a lot about how transformative the 1-drop Broly, once those become widely available, how transformative those are going to be for this deck. Like, it pretty much lets you clear 8 to 12 cards out of your deck.
Oh yeah,
for
and
tech
actually,
options and things like that.
So there's an opportunity later in this duel where we'll see kind of potential where it goes. So I didn't choose the Broly in that top 7 cards because I obviously have 1 in my hand, and Ba allows you to search your deck for a Broly BR card. I think energy costs 5 or less, so I grabbed the 4-drop.
Yeah, you can get just about any part of the chain off of the Ba. In my opinion, it's the best Planet Vampa hit.
Yeah, and that's what, even my profile, I'm not sure if you saw my profile, Jake, but like, I don't understand why people are playing Goldmite. Like, sure, Goldmite's a good in your extra deck in case you're playing against Dark Broly, or if you're playing against, there's another deck, I can't remember what it was. Shinron.
Shinron plays
Yeah.
the 9-drop pretty early.
So,
Yeah.
And here real quick, Jimmy's doing what he normally does, negating early. Using Planet Truffle to circulate his cards, and he doesn't. Jimmy pretty much let on that he knows how to count cards really well, and that's kind of what he does with this deck.
Well, when you get to a certain level of familiarity with your list, you can almost feel out how things are going.
Yeah.
Counting cards in the
Well,
traditional sense doesn't exactly translate, but...
Well, actually, if I'm correct, there's no card in his deck that tells him to shuffle his deck. It's placed on the bottom, The
Mm-hmm.
leader effect, top 3 cards, I think you take one, put the other 2 on the bottom, and then put another card at the bottom.
Yeah.
So, what he explains it better in his profile, but what he's doing is that, it's 1 for Planet Vampa, Planet Truffle, and then when he gets to Awakened Leader, it's 3 every time. So eventually, you're cycling those top 3 cards, putting 3 cards at the bottom. Eventually, you're going to see those cards late game that you're putting on the bottom at the very beginning.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if the deck actually, cycled enough that he will start to see that layered bottom.
The game goes long enough, it definitely can.
For sure, if it goes that long.
So, swinging with the 1-drop Broly because Ball's on the field, making Broly a 15k beater, which is really nice. And he just Mafuba it.
It's a solid Mafuba target.
Yeah, no, it totally is.
Might seem like a waste going onto a 1-drop, but really solid target.
So one of the reasons why what had happened there is that I wasn't going to the 3-drop for free.
God, look at that. Jeez.
New
Model Scouter is so good in this deck. Like if you're playing Brawly BR and you're not running New Model Scouter, like think again and try it again.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because nothing in your deck will search the 6-drop. Wait, hang on. No. No. I don't think
doesn't.
And I can't remember if Paragus does.
I don't think it does. Actually, let me look. Keep going, but I'll look.
Yeah. But nonetheless, it's just another way of checking the top of your deck and finding key cards you need for later swap targets. So I mean, granted, Successor Hope was free. You pulled I think it was an energy cost of 4, or was it 5? I can't remember, but it was just 1. This is 1 energy, potentially pulling 2 of them now.
So the 1-drop Paragus is not limited.
It's not limited. Okay, so I think he's.
Yeah.
But he's top 5, I think.
He's only top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, you look with Planet Vampa, you look with New Model Scouter, you look at top 5. That's what 17 cards you can filter in one turn.
Yeah, and you're running, 3, I think, in this line. So your chances of seeing it through all those searches.
And Planet Vampa is a tricky one because, truth be told, depending on what you're playing against, after your first turn, you don't want to do it again, especially if you're using the crit on your leader side. And because he locked my 1 card, hit. God, hit's so amazing.
Yeah. So the reason that Jimmy is protecting so hard, Baby does not draw a ton. A lot of Baby's like add to hand effects will cause you to bottom deck a card, so you're not really gaining card advantage. Like he's just dumped 2 counterplays on the field that are probably not going to get loaded back into his hand. So his hand is going to dwindle. And if he lets you get that swap chain on, and you're going to rip, on that first one, you're going to rip 2 or 3 cards out of his hand, it's just going to be devastating, and he's not going to be able to catch back up from that. So that's why he's like pushing so hard at this point to keep you out of the swap chain.
And that's why he gladly took the life there when you swung with your non-crit leader.
I mean, Broly BR's on the field anymore.
Yeah, Mafuba.
Yeah. So it was the turn before. Well, also keep in mind, I haven't pulled a Kel card at all yet, which really hurts because Kel's -7 is really nice.
That's your late game gas. Like you can't get that going. You still have a lot of lines of play, but you might gas out.
So on the first New Model Scouter, 1 point out real quick. I think I pulled the 4-drop and the 6-drop to my hand.
4 and a 5.
It was a 4 and a 5, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a foil 5.
At one point, I'm pulling the 5 to my hand. Sorry, the 6. And when I do, Jimmy asked me about the energy cost for swapping because technically that card was public. He could have seen it. I was nice. I gave him clarification. And I told him it takes 1 energy for all of the targets to be swapped, for the exception of the second swap target, which is free.
Yeah.
Later in the game, that comes in handy because Jimmy misheard what I said there. And I'll go ahead and let you guys know that now. And when it happens in the duel, I'll point it out when it happens. So.
Yep. Bottom decking a card, drawing. Yeah. The only real way Baby gains hand advantage is through swinging. So even if Jimmy doesn't necessarily want to put more cards in your hand here, he doesn't really have an option.
I really don't want to go any lower than 4 either.
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
Jimmy has got to push to get Bancroft down to 3. 3 is the good kill range for this deck. Now, I don't think Jimmy runs a lot of the Golden Great Apes in this build, which, I've told him, and we've had plenty of conversations about this, I don't agree with. Just because Golden Great Ape is a good game ender for him.
So I think he's up to the 3 now. I think. I don't remember exactly the profile.
He was, I think it's 1 that he's still running because he doesn't run the Baby Unison.
When I played him
Right.
on Saturday, he had at least 2.
It might be at 2, but I don't think he's got it at.
So what I like about Kel is that she pulls any red sand, top 3 cards. Unfortunately, none of the targets were Broly cards, but I did pull Exploding Weakness. So
There you go.
Fair get.
Very fair get.
Better against Baby than it initially seems, because a lot
Yes.
of his negates end up playing a battle card.
Mhm.
Sure.
And a
ahead.
lot of them are big swings too.
Yeah. And I think that's why I pulled that one. So if he were to ramp that field up, it works out great. I don't know why I don't have my dice on her yet, on Kel. So the 3-drop free plays Paragus from my hand, if I have it, which obviously I do. And Jimmy has no counter place for that. Oh, I guess I did have a die there.
Oh, you just couldn't say it blended perfectly in with the card.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So with Paragus, this might be the 6-drop then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be the get there.
So shortly after this, Jimmy asked me, just to verify what the swap costs of these cards were. Let's see, it's my turn 3. Yeah.
And you're still in that, like, he's got enough open energy that he can still disrupt your swap. And he's going to do that. But the question is like, Baby is just gonna bottom deck or put one back in hand. That's not totally disruptive for you.
No.
Truthfully. I mean, it does set you back a little bit, but
Yeah. He'll want to wait until you invest as much energy as he thinks you're going to invest.
yeah.
All right, so I swing with the 3-drop, which technically right now is 19k,
Oh.
and he negates a Wraith and Rebel.
I expected him to UI Goku you there and then prevent you from being able to free swap. Prevent you from going up the chain.
That would have been an absolute blowout. He could have even waited until he got as far as the 5-drop.
Well, now as Bancroft plays them, Jimmy is going to lose cards in his hand. So
I go into the 4-drop,
yeah,
and I boost the marker and I pass turn. There's no reason to continue pushing because I can't guarantee to win next turn. But next turn, you guys may see what you're talking about happen.
Where you just blow his hand out?
No, where he plays UI on me.
Okay.
I
Does
think
it
I
next turn?
saw it.
Yeah, it's on top of it's in his hand.
Yeah, it's in his hand.
So like all good red decks, I have 2 open energy right now. You could probably expect what's in my hand.
There it is. Nope.
Debating.
Thinking real hard about it.
Or that might have been when he asked me about the question first. Or not. What else is in my hand that's important? I'm trying to remember now.
Exploiting Weakness would still be 3 for you.
Denial of Hope would be nice for that UI.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I do not play that in this deck. I think I might have had a Violent Ray in my hand, but all his battle cards were under 20k for the most part.
They're under that 20, yeah. Well, I guess his servants wouldn't, and that Vegeta's at 20, I think.
He's being very cautious with the Kel as well, which is very smart.
Yeah, he knows what'll happen if you're able to hit the gas on him. But he passes with 5 open, so
yeah,
that's scary. Although his hand size is getting small, and provided enough pressure, he could be in some real trouble unless he times his counterplays very aptly.
I think to me, that's what makes Baby a little weaker than stuff like Soul Striker or Vegeta, is that Baby's hand just isn't big.
So I knew he had that 2-drop. That right there it is. I knew he had it in his hand, so I was pretty much just getting it out ahead of time. And I'm just gonna play it right again.
Nice.
Disparate Measure is really bad when you're paying 2 energy for it, but with Baby allowing you to play it for 1, it actually puts in some nice work.
So this is very what happens here is very tricky. I purposely, if I'm correct, held off on attacking Jimmy for a little bit. As you can see here, I swapped straight into the 5 instead of swinging with the 4.
I think
Because
that's smart.
but I saw him grab that Mafuba, and that's why. So here, I'm going over the effects. He has to get rid of a card or put it into the warp, and Kel gets a counter. He's debating on what to do.
It's a hard spot because if he counterplays the Goku, or if he counterplays with the Goku, you just play the Brawly right back, or you just go back up to 5 still. And it's not, I mean, it is slowing you down, but it's not stopping you. It's not stunning you out the way.
I think the play is to counterplay the 3-drop here. And then if he it makes him immediately go into the 6.
Unfortunately, Broly still plays.
Well, yeah.
So the autos still go off. He has to do all the effects. Broly 5-drop goes back to my hand because it left the battlefield because of an opponent's skill.
Yep.
Activates the leader's auto to
Right.
discard 1 card from my hand to replay the 4-drop. Skills are not negated. So then he has to discard another card, and I put another marker on Kel right afterwards.
Right. Which is why the play, I think, should have been to bounce the 3-drop and then opt to Mafuba your 6-drop when it swings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I still do not attack. I'm holding off on all my attacks so I get his hand as low as possible.
I am blanking a little bit on the exact wording on Ultra Instinct Son Goku, which has tanked in price at this point.
There's
counterplay or counterattack, and then when it comes into play, auto bounce an opponent's card, ignoring barrier, and draw.
All right.
Okay.
So I grabbed all the negates in his hand, for the exception of Mafuba.
Yep.
I activate Kel's effect next to play the 5-drop, which warps his last card in his hand. Now he's no cards in his hand. Wait for it. There it is. And now I freely swing with my crits.
Yep.
Excellent.
And this is game.
Finish.
Like,
excellent finish.
Yeah. That is so.
So he blockers that one. I forgot the blocker was on there. So I swing with the 5-drop. And I happen to have a Broly in my hand as well.
Oh, nasty.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh, so nasty.
Now, I had that Broly, I want to say, since turn 1 or turn 2.
That Broly is so good.
I love
Like,
that card.
And so what the misheard was that when I told Jimmy, I was like, they all take 1 energy for the swap chain, for the exception of the second one. For some reason, when I said that, he heard that as, his brain took that as the 6-drop takes 2. Because the word second, second chain. So he felt comfortable with sending back my 5-drop that I could not get the 6-drop out on the board.
And I almost wonder if maybe he did not account for, because it's hard to plan around that leader skill that lets you play a 4 or less.
It really is, yeah.
Like that can put you in, and it basically starts another chain for you. It lets you maintain your aggression. It's I guarantee he probably didn't properly account for that, which is no shame on him. Like, it's really difficult to plan around, especially if you're down to 2 or 3 cards in your hand.
Late game Broly swap, very scary.
Yeah, I know after that duel, he's like, want to play it back? And I'm like, don't we guys hurt our local tournaments? And he's like, afterwards. I'm like, all right, cool. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to do a rematch, but we'll probably will, though. So, once again, another deck that I absolutely love that involves swap. Fluff called me out on it. I did not mention, I look forward to this deck when I built this profile, but it is a swap deck that actually is really good, and I like it a lot. So,
I think it's one of the decks in the format that's just going to grow. It's just going to get better as the format moves along. It does incredibly well in late game. Like, the longer the game goes, the way better that deck gets. Like, and it's so consistent in finding its swap pieces, which I think was what kept like Frieza swap from really hitting hard. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to see what happens with that and what you do with it once we get
Um,
Real quick, I would like to mention I was checking the state leaderboards this afternoon, and Bancroft, you are currently part of a three-way tie for second place in the state.
Wow, what?
Yep, Bancroft is in a three-way tie as the second highest rated player in the state currently for this season
snap. Wow.
Wow.
or this month, not this season. Excuse me.
Gotcha. Okay. You know, Fluff won the last two locals.
Yeah, I've been undefeated
I
the
don't-
last 2 weeks.
Well,
I don't
I
I don't
would
know Fluff's name, so he could be the first place person.
Self.
self.
Self
So
85.
Yeah.
well, let me check. Let me check while we're here.
While we all have you here and Jake checking it out, we like to say thank you for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you enjoy our content. Hit that bell, that notification bell, to let yourself know when we drop more content, which is practically every day. But yeah, I did win our past locals, but that's giving away our potential duel in the future.
I also don't know when the reset is, so it could reset in the middle of the month. I don't.
There was like a couple months back where Bancroft was just generally outperforming me, whether it be, for one reason or another. But I don't care. The standings don't matter to me. So it's okay.
Okay. A tournament has happened, and currently Bancroft is in fourth, tied with someone named Faye and another one of our locals, me.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Who's above us then?
Or is it Fluff 85? I can't even remember what my BCC ID is.
We have
Itself.
Erdrick in first place, Simon Boschkert in second, and Seth Feinhauer in third.
Okay, there's no way that's right then, because Fluff won the last 2 weeks. What?
Are you sure it's not Faye? Because Faye is tied with Bancroft for fourth.
No.
It's self.
It's self.
I've seen the Jimmy's laptop. Well, we're getting sidetracked. As you can tell, I'm a really good player apparently, and so are the other two guys who are talking with us right now. So hope you all enjoy.
Do you have your region set?
I don't know. I'll have to check it out. I'm not even sure how to log in. But
You guys wanna close us out.
yeah, let's close this out. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. Hopefully, you guys enjoy seeing Brawly BR in action. Hopefully, you enjoy seeing Baby. We're trying to give out new stuff week to week, so if you like what you're seeing, make sure to like, subscribe, and all that fun jazz. But to close it out, Jake, got any last thoughts?
Remember to vote. I don't know when this video is going to come out.
Tuesday.
It's getting down to the wire, everybody, and exercise your rights.
Yes. But as always, read your cards, know your plays. Like always, fluff out.